Well, good morning, everybody, from the Catholic University of South Sudan, Rumbek campus. It's really lovely to be with you. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. My name is Father Alan Neville. I'm a missionary of the Sacred Heart, not from Australia, but from Ireland. I'm working here in South Sudan now. This month will be 2 years. I'm working in a place in the middle of the country. It's an extraordinary country. It's the newest country in the world. They had independence in 2011. We have a population of about 10, 11 million people. Size-wise, we are bigger than France, but development-wise, there's a lot of work to do, really. So we're very grateful to the Missionary of the Sacred Heart Support Office for all that they've done and for the benefactors as well. My role here, I've got more than one hat. I do several things. So I'm helping out. I'm the chaplain in some of the schools, the boys' schools and the girls' school. I'm working at the local diocese. I'm working in child protection. But the big area that I'm working in at the moment is the university. We've a very small university here, but it's growing. One of the challenges that we have here is the education system is in need of a lot of development. And we are looking especially to raise up within our university here business people so that they can develop their own economy and they can become financially independent and economically strong and resilient. And teachers, we have a teaching program for English and English literature. The site itself is very basic. I might see if I can switch the camera here to give you an idea of where we are. This here is the main building. It's it's an unfinished building that we use. Itself fairly solid, but a lot of work needed to be done with it, and a lot of work still needs to be done with it. So recently, what we've done is we've added in wheelchair accessibility, so anyone with special needs will be able to attend the college, which for us, accessibility for all people is very important indeed. At the moment, we are doing our applications for new students. So we are welcoming in new students from around Lake State to come and to study with us. We have a special program to encourage women to come. There's a very low level of educational attainment among women. According to the UN, it is statistically more likely, and this is startling really, that a girl will die in childbirth rather than actually finish education in a second level school. So the situation is very demanding. So what we do is we look to see how we can support to get as many young women into third level education as possible, to give them a sense of financial stability themselves. And actually, they're just incredible workers. They are the ones who are really going to lift up this economy. So the work we're doing here, we had the wheelchair accessibility. We've just put in new toilets. Now they're very simple. It's just simple pit toilets. The other thing we are doing today is we have a library that we're getting done. The library that we're doing, everything here it's not cheap because you have to import so many things. We've just come out of rainy season. The roads are still between here and the capital, almost inaccessible, I would say closed. So you have to wait to get things through, which really can delay things and also adds to the expense. So for example, now we are going to get our library redone. The library is a small building, but it's fairly old and dilapidated, and we've got bats in the ceiling that I cannot get rid of. I've tried chemical means. I've got one of those plug-in solar things. They are there to stay, at least until the next month. So we are redoing that so that there will actually be light in the building, that we will have the ceiling redone. The floor is an old kind of cracked screed floor, so we're going to replace that. And it's a place where the students can come together and they can study together. We had a donation of tablets and we're able to download some of the latest books onto that. And the idea with everything here is that we want the South Sudanese to develop their own country, and that's what they want too. But we're at the nation building stage, so it's going to take a little bit of a push, a little bit of support to make that happen. In relation to the water project, so the Missions of the Sacred Heart Mission Office has already supported the water project. We've now dug our borehole. I'm going to show you where that is, which is just here. Now, it does look very underwhelming. It does look like a blue pipe, but it's really like an iceberg. Everything that is happening is under the surface. Our builder is coming today to look to build a tower, which we're going to have here. And that tower is going to have a 10,000 litre tank on top of that. And then we're going to pipe the water all around the university to make sure, particularly in these times where I suppose we're still coming out of COVID, we're still dealing with a lot of these issues, that we have access to clean drinking water and water for washing up as well. I want to take you over here to where our current entire water supply is. We have neighbours next door and we borrow a tap from them. So for the whole university, let's see if you can see it here. We are just coming up to it, and this is what we're using. The ladies are watering the garden at the moment. So for the entire university, this is what we have. So we're very grateful to the support office for what they have done and how they've enabled us now to build the tower. So we're working forward. We're looking to become more financially self-sufficient, which I think is very important. But the major structural things, they're a big challenge. So, for example, the solar power equipment that will come from Austria, that's the only place you can get it from. It's the cheapest place for us. To get that to come here, it's going to cost about 18,000 Australian dollars. So you're looking at a significant amount of money, really, and that's for the library project. Development, it's somewhere similar. You're looking at about 15,000 Australian dollars to get the library building redeveloped, put the new ceiling in, sort out the floor, clear up the electrics and what have you. So everything here is expensive, but what I believe is once you get in quality, it's going to stand the test of time. And it will be here in 10, 20 years' time as the university continues to grow. So there you are. Any questions?
I think that's very good, Alan. I think you've covered all the aspects of what's going on, some of the education curriculum and then the physical development, and also your hopes and dreams of where it might go. So I think that's very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, just one other thing I'd say, Roger, is because it's a Catholic university, for all of the courses, whether you're doing education or business, there will always be a Catholic component. So there will be things like social ethics, there'll be things like theology, philosophy. So the idea is that we're not just producing teachers, or we're not just producing business people. We're producing, business people with a proper sense, and teachers with a clear sense of Catholic identity. Some of the students won't be Catholic, that's fine. But the idea around, what are social ethics? How are we living them out in their lives, and how do they impact what they do?
How many students would you have there at this moment?
At the moment, we're small. We're still small. We've got about 60 students at the moment, and we've got 45 students who are applying. So the university itself is this is 4 years, 4 years old, and you need to factor into that then we had COVID, which basically put the kibosh on us here for the bones of 18 months. So we're still finding our way. But I just think if a country is going to grow, it will need to grow from within. It will need to grow from its own people. And if it's going to be sustainable, it has to be of the land itself, because people coming in and doing the work and then flying out again, that's not a great model, Like, we have people who are coming here, our student fees are like, it's $100 for it's $200 a year for the guys, it's $100 for the women per year to do a degree. Now, for the rest of us, that's US dollars, so it'll be 300 and 150. For us, that seems really small, but for the people here, that's a huge amount of money, and they have to work and graft to get it. So when they get here, they're very committed, particularly the women who come here. And we have women who will come and they'll have their babies with them. And so the babies will stay outside and we'll sort out a minder, and the women will go inside and study. And these are the ones, the motivation, Roger, is extraordinary, because it's not just for them, it's for their family as well. So what they've had to face, and they face some really difficult times, particularly coming through independence, they want to make sure their family never faces again. So their commitment, it's second to none. It's extraordinary. And all of the challenges they face, and they're still here, they're sitting in class, the pens are out and they're learning. They're just wonderful.
Okay, one other thing I'd ask, your teachers, how many teachers have you got, and where do they come from, and how do you pay them?
How do we pay them? No problem. So the teachers we've got, let me think now for a second. Permanent staff here, there's 4 permanent staff, and then our other teachers, our lecturers who will come in. There's 2 sources. Either we have part-time lecturers coming from other third level institutions, or else there would be religious in the diocese. So it's very often the way that the religious that you'll have in the diocese will be among the most educated. So for example, Father James is our lecturer in ethics. He's a Jesuit from Choibet, which is a parish about an hour and a half away from here. Then we'll have local lecturers. So it's about, I would say, 60% South Sudanese, 40% from East Africa. But what we're looking for here, again, it's like with the students, it's quality, you know. Payment-wise, they get $10 for a lecture, which again, if you were elsewhere, I don't know if the lecturers would accept it, but here, because of some of the challenges that we're facing, it's $10 that they're absolutely guaranteed that they will have per lecturer per month. So if they do 4 lecturers, that'll be $40. So what we're looking for here is the committed teachers, and actually the lecturers themselves, they're on board with the vision because, you know, they're educators. They know what they're doing and they know what they want to achieve for their country, and they're looking at the students, and it's through the students that's going to happen. So the lecturers we have, they're great, really. They're inside in the library. Well, they won't be for the next few weeks now, but they're inside in the library, getting everything ready, meeting the students outside of class, encouraging them, challenging them, getting them to read, which is a bit of a challenge, but we'll get there too. So yeah, lecturers, very good. I'm very happy with them.
Okay, Father Alan, thank you very much. I think that's very good, and a lot of our people will be interested in that.
Good, Father Roger, thank you so much. And again, listen, it amazes me. There's people all around the world who will never come here, you know, and they will never meet the people that they are supporting. But it makes a huge difference. And for me, education, I just think is a critical component. So we are extremely grateful, and thank you so much to you, the team, and all the benefactors.